trying not to drink coffee, but I really need one today. I just did an espresso, and then I'm gonna put in the Chobani Hazel flavored creamer. It is, let's see. I thought it was oat milk, but what the heck? Oh no. Why did I think that? Why did I think Chobani was dairy free? Someone please let me know. Anyways. Alright, so today's video is going to be all about burnout and how I plan to deal with it. I had a few months in the beginning of the summer that were really good, and then the hard thing about real estate is that you could be on such a high and then dramatically quickly go to such a low of low. And it's just hard when you're building your business and you get ghosted like every day by people after you have been working with them, and that's just the name of the game, and it's really hard to get used to, for me especially, because I just have a lot of stress not being successful. So I'm going to talk about all of that in the video and just go over burnout and stress and how I plan to deal with it when I get back from my trip and all that good stuff. So I hope you enjoy my video. Our neighbor's cat loves our yard. He's so cute. I love him. I'm not even a cat person, but they're just so cute. Alright, so I'm currently addressing an envelope that I'm going to send out with one of my mailers. This mailer is just on strategies for a great financial future. And then it's just kind of talking about creating a budget and the ABCs of your expenses. So your fixed expenses, your irregular expenses, discretionary spending, things like that. And then that you should probably build a reserve, make saving automatic. So doing like automatic withdrawals into your account, which I do right now. So like I have multiple investment accounts, and then I do an automatic withdrawal to my IRA every month, an automatic withdrawal to I have 2 savings accounts. So one of my Fidelity individual accounts and then one of my Betterment accounts. So every month on a different day, there's just money coming out of my bank account into my savings account. So making those automatic, and then if I have anything left over, I usually dump that into my savings as well. And then the back of the flyer is just kind of talking about retirement investments, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and then real estate, kind of just talking about even just investing in your first home. So this is a good flyer. I am thinking about buying the package of these, which gives you a ton, like hundreds of these every month that you can send out to your sphere. I don't end up using all of them because I don't have enough contacts yet, which is my goal to just keep building that up. But right now this is my last one that I have left before I run out of new flyers. So I think I'm going to invest in that, maybe not until next year, but we'll see. I do really think that it's helpful. I hope people read them because I think that they're beneficial to be reading. And then I just fold up the flyer. I don't want the man on the outside. I want the piggy bank on the outside. Fold that hot dog style. I think it's hot dog style. Or no, fold it the It's neither, because I fold it in a trifold so that I can put it in the envelope. And then before I sent these out, I sent kind of an intro email, or not an intro email, but I sent a intro to let everybody know what these are. And so now when I send them, I just send them with the flyer and then my business card as well. So this is my business card, and I just stick one in the envelope and it's good to go. Put a stamp on there. And I need to go back to Costco because I bought 100 of these and I just ran out. I have 3 left. So need to run to Costco because they sell them in bulk, and they'll sell, I think, 100. They're expensive though. I think it's $100 to get, maybe a little more than that, 125 maybe. I think it's $25 a stamp. I could be wrong. But I'm gonna need to go back when I am back from my trip. I need to go to Costco and get more stamps. So the focus of today's video mostly is I wanted to talk about burnout because I have been feeling burnout a lot lately. Honestly, it's been for a while now. And I was watching another video on this, and they were talking about how you kind of just come out of burnout and it's temporary. But I just want to say, for me personally, I have probably never, I don't think I've ever felt burnt out. And I feel burned out right now, and I probably have for the last few months. And I think part of it does have to do with the amount of pressure that I put on myself. And I've always been a very motivated person. So I've always played competitive sports growing up, and I always pushed myself, but I always happened to be pretty good at the sport I was playing. So I was just continuously putting in work and effort and working a lot harder than people, and it didn't really feel like I was overdoing it because I was feeling the rewards of the amount of work I was putting in, if that makes sense. And I think a big part of why I'm feeling burnt out now is because it's a slow burn in my job right now. So real estate takes a very long time to build a business, and I think that for at least my first year, I was putting in so much work into all of the stuff I was doing for free that now I'm kind of feeling the repercussions of just going full in on something and not still seeing the results that I would like to see from myself. So like I said, I've always kind of been very motivated. I've always worked out probably at least 4, 5, 6 times a week, and I've always had really high expectations for myself. So in college, I wanted to do pre-med, and so honestly, one of the biggest reasons I wanted to do pre-med was because other people probably thought that I couldn't do it. And so I always put pressure on myself to get good grades, be competitive, do hard things. So pre-med in college, again, pushing myself. And then I did get good grades, and then I ended up not doing pre-med. And then I went to a sales role with a startup, and I put pressure on myself to be the best there, like I always do. And I was hitting really high numbers. I got promoted, got laid off. Then I put myself into a job with Fidelity Investments and had to take some very, very hard tests, like the Series 763, stuff like that, and put a lot of pressure on myself there to pass those tests with no finance background. And then after that, got into real estate. So I always like to challenge myself, and I've never really had a problem doing it, and I've never really felt burnt out. I think because I've been in real estate for longer than the other 2 positions I've had so far, and I guess I don't have like a steady paycheck, maybe that's why I am feeling more burned out than I would have ever felt before. But anyways, that's kind of my background on why I feel like I'm getting burnt out. So like I said, I put a lot of pressure on myself, and I think that really debilitates me. And I think if you set really high goals for yourself and you put a lot of pressure on yourself, it almost just feels like you're heavy. Like there's just so much to do, and you have such high expectations for yourself that you feel like you don't even know where to start. So I really wanted to focus on just getting back into the swing of things. And so that's kind of why I did some research and drew out some steps for myself. Oh, and also, my boyfriend went to the University of Florida, so we watched Swamp Kings on Netflix, and this is also what made me want to do this, but the coach there was very, 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 very successful and then ended up retiring or leaving the school after I think 5 years it was. And he was just talking about the amount of pressure he put on himself and how he told himself after he won that he was going to kind of take a step back and like not put as much pressure on himself, which he was saying was obviously not going to happen because that's the person he is. And I know that's how I am. So I know that I'm always going to do that to myself, but I need to try to figure out how I'm going to move forward and in a healthy way for myself. So I wanted to kind of reevaluate. And so the first thing I wrote down was prioritize self-care. And some of the things that they listed for that one was eating healthy and getting good sleep, which I already do both of those. So engaging in activities you enjoy. So I think I've tried a lot of new activities like tennis, golf, pickleball, all that kind of stuff. But I know that something that I really do like and enjoy and helps me feel like I'm in a routine, because real estate is not really routine, is going to workout classes. I have currently a Choose membership, but working out on my own is not as exciting as I would hope for it to be. And I'm so used to doing team sports or being in the office with someone, and now I just don't have either of those. And so I think getting back into a routine of going to yoga, I think I'm going to do yoga because I did Pilates for 2 years and I did yoga for a very long time with weight training. And so I think I'm going to try to do core power yoga and just get in a routine of going like every morning. So that's kind of my number one goal with prioritizing self-care, is getting back into yoga. And then 2 is setting boundaries. So overextending, mixing work and personal life. This I think is really important for me because real estate is also personal. So my first year I was like, I'm gonna do everything I can to meet as many people, network, go out every single night, not out, but like go out and like socialize with people every single night. And so I think I got burnt out of that because I was overextending myself, and in my head it was work and social, and I was mixing the two, and I was just really overextending myself in that way. And I think it's really hard when you are also trying to be overly social. You put a lot of expectations on your friends as well. And so, and I'm very outgoing and social, and I will always be. I can't just sit at home by myself and not talk to anybody, but I do think that I need that. And so taking a step back and I guess not feeling like I need to be doing something during the week. The weekends may be different, but during the week, maybe taking a little more self-care time or just like nights to myself. I also think it came at a time where I moved in with my boyfriend, so I just felt like I was never really getting any alone time, if that makes sense. And so just like setting aside some time during the week for myself to like go downstairs and read a book in my own space and having quiet time. And yeah, I think that would be really good to implement into my routine as well. So I don't know if anyone else is feeling that way, but that's kind of what I have recognized and I'm going to try and implement. And then say no. So I said no to absolutely nothing for like 2 years straight. I am a yes man, but I need to start saying no. And I think the no for me last year, and I don't really know what it's going to be this year, but like open houses. I love doing open houses because you never know how or when you're going to meet people, and I've met people through open houses. But I think I was just doing them once or twice every single weekend, and I hated them. I don't think anyone really likes doing open houses. And so saying no to that and like telling myself it's okay not to do one every single weekend will also be good just for my own sanity. So prioritizing self-care, setting boundaries, saying no. 4 is practicing mindfulness. I think everything is just moving so fast for me, and I have so many different things that I'm trying to do, like real estate, social media, making videos, taking care of the house, working out, having a social life, and I just need to be more mindful. So just like, and I think yoga will also help with this, but being more mindful, taking a couple minutes a day to just like relax and silence, take a deep breath, things like that. Take vacations. This is a big one. I have a huge vacation coming up. It's 20-day vacation. I'm already very stressed about being gone for that long. And I think that when I come back from vacation, I always work 10 times harder because I feel guilty that I was on vacation. And evaluating that and looking over all of how I treat my vacations, coming back and just being in a routine and not putting too much pressure on myself, because then that creates burnout. So they had on the list take a vacation, but in my own way, I was thinking that yes, taking a vacation is good, but when I come back, not putting too much pressure on myself to be working 10 times harder because I feel guilty that I took time off type deal. So doing that is number 5. And then reassessing my goals. I was talking earlier about those little notes that I write. I just need to set smaller goals because I set such big goals and high expectations on myself that, like I said, I just feel like so much pressure. And so setting smaller goals makes me feel more productive and more successful at the end of the day, and I'm not as disappointed when something doesn't go my way because I did my small steps. And I actually noticed this the other day in a team meeting. I had a coworker that was just so over it, and he was like, how are you always so happy and like so just like optimistic? And I think it's because at that time I was doing such small things that I knew was going to pay off, and I wasn't putting a ton of pressure on why is this person not calling me back, why all of a sudden is this person told me one thing and they're doing the other type deal. Like, I had less pressure on that, and I was more focused on doing the small things that I know are going to pay off in the long run. So those are just 6 quick tips for if you're feeling burned out that you could probably implement as well. I don't know if anyone else can relate. This is just more of a deeper dive as well on these like general ideas of how to come out of burnout and how I'm going to implement them. And I hope you find this helpful. My way to walk down to the mailbox and drop off my notes. It's just right down the street, and I always like walking there to get some exercise. Even though I did Pilates this morning, I just watered, and so I thought it was a good timing. It's about 5:30, so it should be a little cooler. It's probably still super hot out, but maybe a little cooler than it was earlier. I wanted to wait until 5:30 so I could get back and start dinner. Just got back from my walk to the post office. I was jamming out to Taylor Swift, but we got an Amazon package. Shoot, I thought this was for me. I don't think it is. That's definitely not for me. I don't know what that is. Anyways, I was gonna start dinner, and I wanted to show you these Culture Pop sodas are so good. I'm obsessed with them. This is the watermelon lime flavor. It's really good. I need to buy like a pack of them. But I'm gonna start dinner. I was gonna put Taylor Swift on the radio since I've been listening to her, and now I just wanna keep playing Lavender Haze on repeat. But I'm gonna make some sausage and peppers, and then I think Miles should be home soon. He called me and I did not pick up. Okay, well, I'm gonna get started on that. All right, so I'm making dinner. I'm just chopping up some mini peppers. I always do zucchini and squash. And then I also got potatoes to add and kielbasa sausage. Preheat the oven to 400 degrees, pop that in for 25 minutes. I season everything with oil, salt, pepper, garlic salt, red pepper flakes, and then it's really easy and it's really good for leftovers. So making that tonight, if you need any ideas for dinner, really easy to make, good for leftovers, and fairly good for you, I would say. So good idea, but I'm gonna end the vlog here. Thank you so much for watching and stay tuned for my next video.